Welcome to the Seven Figure Salon Podcast with Rachel and Drew. I'm Drew.
I'm Rachel.
Welcome to the show.
The shit show.
The shit show.
Sometimes. It's really not.
Depends on the day.
Well, it depends on how many, if we're trying to go live, or if we're just trying to film here and then post later. So
yeah.
Currently, we are doing a live on Instagram, and so we're filming this for you guys. So would appreciate the feedback, how the audio is for you guys, things like that. Obviously, the audio is gonna be a lot better on the podcast.
I can always hook up mics to that, and we can make it better. So I know we're far away from the phone, so they might not be able to hear us over here. But either way, we're going for it.
Awesome.
What we're going to talk about today, we just got a lot of events coming up. We got a lot of exciting things in the near future. We're going to New York. We're going to Vegas. And then we have our financially free event. And then it is onward to Nashville for our Babes in Business event.
Yes. So lots of travel. Haven't packed. So yeah, trying to get our work wrapped up here before we leave. You know, there's a lot of things to wrap up. There's a lot of, moving parts, 4 kids, babysitters, my mom.
GG.
That kind of stuff. Haley says there's an echo. I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
Like I was thinking we need to.
Cool. So
solves that. So this is our audio source here.
Yep. Got it.
That's what I was trying to explain.
So I see what you did there.
Yep.
Okay. There might be a little
Haley.
bit of a delay.
Thanks for the heads up.
I can't believe you read that. You probably read it there.
Jeez. Oh. All right. So yeah, lots of travel, making sure everybody's got groceries. Everybody's, knows where they're supposed to be, sports, church, that kind of stuff.
Yep. There's a lot of pre-work, just like this podcast, that goes into actually presenting it and doing the thing.
Yep.
So we try to go live on YouTube right now, but there's something going on with Ecamm and YouTube.
She's the chairman. That's right. Looking out for us. Thank you. So professional. So we're actually going out to Aspire in New York City. One of our mentors, Andrew, his birthday happens to be this weekend. And what better way to spend your birthday than in Madison Square Garden? So we are going out there to hang with our people. We're part of a mastermind with non-beauty industry related people, but
it's a lot of investment stuff.
Yeah, lots of really cool people. And so we're part of that group there. And then we're also, while we're in town, going to have a meetup. So Flutra, I think you're still watching. You're in Jersey, you're not too far away from New York City. We'd love to see any of our people that are in the Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, surrounding areas. We'd love to see you. We're going to be hosting a meetup at the Renaissance Downtown Hotel from 5 to 7 on Friday. So we would love to see you guys. It's completely free. Just come out, come hang out.
Just hanging.
Talk shop. We can help you overcome whatever challenges you might be going through. But yeah, we'd love to see you guys. And so we've got, lots of text marketing and stuff like that going out just to kind of to all of our East Coasters just to see if you guys are available. And if so, we'd love to see you.
Yep. Super. We love doing the masterminds. And we love doing the meetups.
Going to come Friday, 9 to 7 at the Renaissance Hotel. Yep.
Let's go.
Love to see you.
Super cool. It's real cash. So we've done a few of them, and there's always a little bit of a turnout, and we just hang out. I think we had
nothing formal at all. Like this
Rachel's the host. She's very much a hostess, and there's usually snacks and things laid out.
Yeah, he's always like, we're just gonna go and just hang. I'm like,
and then spend any money.
Well, he leaves to go to the bathroom, and then he comes back. There's like this last time, there was like macaroons and a charcuterie board and like espresso martinis. Like, yeah, I can't invite you guys over and not feed you and help you, have some drinkies, whatever. So yeah, this weekend we're doing a New York City meetup. We're actually going to be doing a Vegas meetup next weekend when we are in Vegas. We have not formally announced that, but we are. So be on the lookout for that. If you are in the Vegas area or if you're like in the Utah area and you want to come hang out with us, we'd love to see you. We'll be doing a meetup at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas next week. And then we'll be doing our New York City meetup this Friday from 5 to 7. It looks like Flutra's coming. So excited.
Very cool. Love it. There's so much cool stuff happening that we have that we'll be rolling out for the
I have to look at our actual calendar because there's like there's quite a few things. It's a pretty busy month.
But then we get to
mastermind.
Then we get to focus on mastermind.
Yep.
And then after mastermind,
well, what?
SalonCon.
Well, yeah. Well,
that's a whole other
Thanksgiving,
podcast.
Christmas, then SalonCon. So SalonCon is super special. We'll be obviously giving you guys more details about that, but that's going to be kicking off in January in Cancun at the gorgeous Ava Hotel. So if you're interested in coming to SalonCon and, watching Drew hang out in his homeland.
I'm Mexican.
Hardly. If you want to come out and hang out with us, we'd love to see you.
Still counts.
But September 14th through the 17th, we will be hosting our next Babes in Business Live. This will be our last Babes in Business Live for the year. We had one a few months back. So if you look at our Babes in Business page, or you look at my Instagram or Drew's Instagram, you would see that, if you see a beautiful, gorgeous little vibey event, that's exactly what that is Babes in Business Live. So our next one is going to be in September, the 14th through the 17th in Nashville. So if you are in the Nashville area, or you want to hop on a plane and go to Nashville for the weekend, we would love to talk with you about how you could be at our event. Our events do sell out. So I think we're like 70% right now, if I'm not mistaken. After yesterday's meeting, I think we're about 70% capacity. So we do still have a few tickets remaining that we will be opening up to the public. But it is super important that we speak with you if you're interested in attending. We want to make sure that it's the right event for you, and that the event is something that you are in a position to not just learn the material, but that you're in a position in your business where you can implement it. So that's super important. So anyway,
we're really big on the implementation of things, because you have ideas, you have processes, you have integration, but without the actual integration, the how, the bolting on to the company, it's still just an idea. Even if you have a proven process, it's still an idea until it's connected into your company. So a lot of what we do is we go over the what and the how, but we really get into the weeds with you guys, because we're able to hang out with you in person and talk shop in person about a specific thing, about a specific business, to get that problem solved with implementation.
Because it's usually something that's pretty simple that is causing like a series of issues or stress for you guys. It's usually like, and when you're so close to it, like Drew always says, you can't see it. Like I wear contacts, Drew wears contacts, and we both wear glasses. And even though let's say without my contacts, I can see pretty close, right? If you were to put whatever it is I'm looking at, like right here in front of my face, I wouldn't be able to see it clearly because I'm so close to it. So if we are able to help you kind of talk through and really think about like, what is the challenge? What is the obstacle that you're facing in your business? Like that's a pivotal moment for you to be able to finally hit that milestone, reach that success, figure out that math problem you've been trying to solve, get that resource that's going to make a huge difference in your business or for your team. Like there's just so many things that you don't know if you don't know, you know what I mean? And it really does like we have mentors as well. So, and the reason that we do is because when you're so close to your own business, it's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah. And there's a lot of what we'll talk about too. In the concept on what we're going to be talking about in Nashville is, this is just an off the cuff sports reference, but we're not a huge, we're into sports here, but the sports references are just, they're so parallel to business. Relatable. Because it's performance and they just make sense, and one of my favorite analogies is, talking about first downs versus touchdowns. And you get touchdowns by continuously getting first downs, but the sexy thing is the touchdown. That's the big celebration. That's the big win. That's the big thing, but it's the first downs that get you those touchdowns. So we really focus, and we got to break down in a company, because in a business is really science, and science is a process. Unfortunately, there's a process to building a proper salon. So that's where we kind of take it. That's where we like to work. Rachel really thrives in there and getting into, I wouldn't say the weeds, but just talking about those first downs. Like, what play are we going to run to get to the first down?
It's very, it's very much strategy. And that's actually like we were on a call earlier today with our CFO. We're talking through just some different things. You know, obviously June and July are lower months for a lot of people, and they're lower months for us. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're lower months in the salon. People are traveling. Our team is traveling. I've got a girl leaving for Italy for like a week and a half or something.
Sports camps.
Yeah. Childcare isn't as convenient as it is when the kids are in school. You know, we have a lot of moms. So June and July are typically a little bit lower months for us sales wise, and they always are. And even on the coaching side of things, sometimes they're lower, because if they're lower in the salon, guess what? That impacts the owner's ability to maybe invest in her business or buy more hair or whatever. So it's definitely something that we, sorry guys, I am sick actually. I'm getting it done today, but I am slightly sick. I'll be better before Friday. Don't worry. But, you know, it's important that you see that we also have lower months and experience, you know, inconvenient things and issues and hiccups, and that didn't go according to plan and all of it, just like you guys. So, I don't ever want anybody who listens to our podcast or anything, you know, and if you coach with us, you know this about us. We are very open about everything. But if you don't coach with us and you are listening to this live or you are listening to this podcast for one of the first times, we are not going to pretend that we have it all together, because we don't. We have most of it together, but like there's things that do happen, and then sometimes there are things that you may have never navigated before. You know, and I will tell you that most of the things that Drew and I bump our heads up against are things that we've never navigated before. And we have to learn our way through it. And we seek wisdom from other people, usually our attorney or other industries, or, you know, we have like banking expert, like just different like people to navigate whatever it is that's in front of you. Now, if you've been in business for a while, right, like you have probably been faced with a repetitiveness of similar problems. And because maybe the first time you went through it, you had to learn your way through it. The second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, like, you know what to do usually in those moments. Or you've got you can phone a friend, right? Or you've got someone that you can lean on. Yesterday, I actually reposted my friend Tara's very vulnerable video that she shared on her Instagram story. My friend Tara, she owns an amazing boutique called Ruthie Grace. I believe their Instagram shop, Ruthie Grace on Instagram. Super successful boutique. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's got a couple of kiddos. Very much there for her family, involved with her family. Very similar to us. Like we align with Tara and her husband a lot. And, she posted a story about how hard it is being an entrepreneur. And that is a freaking fact. We have hard times as well. And, I think the more open you are to talking about that stuff, and the more in touch you are with your own reality, and when you're living in reality, and, you're not, I don't know what like the right word is, but you're not like trying to create a facade about like what's going on. I think that allows you to solve your own problems quicker, because you're in tune with what's actually going on around you.
Yeah. Business is an endurance event. It is. And what is an endurance event? It is, you have a goal to finish a race of some kind. And the goal is to finish the race before you fall apart. Right. So with a business, everyone is trying the hustle grind. There is an element of that, but it's not. It's kind of both, but it's not so much like wake up at 5 a.m. and crush and go till 9. You're gonna be doing things, but you cannot do that repeatedly, time after time after time. One of the things I do that's extremely important to me is I go to the gym. You heard this before with other people, but that is part of why I do it, because it gives me energy, it gives me clarity, and I'll do things that I enjoy doing, and it's important that I do them each day, every day, if possible. Can't do them every day because kids and life. If I could do it every single day, I would. And but you gotta take care of the rhythm in which that you work, because it is a long game. Continue to do what you're doing for the next 10 years, 20 years, because anything significant. If you look at big companies, my gosh, Chick-fil-A, 72 years that they have been doing that.
That's a long time. I didn't know it was that long.
Very old company. Yeah. Our first salon that, Rachel's, dream is very hot in here.
Oh my God.
Rachel's dream,
roasting.
like it's 7 years old, 8 years old now. And, and it's just now cruising, so I thought, maybe a lot of you thought this. I thought 3 years, I'm good. 5 years, I'm going to be crushing it. 5 years, I was still like doing everything like the owner. I was still scrubbing toilets,
You said something really interesting the other day, and you were talking about, you actually on our team call, our coaching team call that we do on Mondays. You were talking about how people try to exit their business way, way, way too soon.
Yes.
And let's really break down what that is. And we're not saying exit like sell. Okay. We're talking exit like removing yourself and putting yourself in the background. So I want you guys to really listen. Hold on so that you can get good audio for everybody.
Yeah. And to give you some context, I have spoken with thousands of salon owners personally, one-on-one. I really have my ear to the ground on the industry. Like I've had really authentic conversations where people share very personal things with me. And I take that seriously. So the common thing I see a lot of things in these conversations, and it's really a blessing. A common thing is people get on these calls wanting help with the business. They need help, but they're trying to get out of the business. And I'm like, I'm not there to coach them, but everyone is trying to get out of their business way too early. You don't have, that is way down the road. Like you're going to have to work in the business, on the business, around the business, beside the business. I don't want to work in my business. I want to work on my business. Yes. You're going to have to do all of it. You can't open a business and then 5 years later not be in the business. It's going to go down. You
can't have a baby and then be like, here you go, and like have someone else take care of it. Like that baby needs you. The baby needs nutrition. It needs to be nurtured. It needs that.
That's like the equivalent. So to take the baby analogy, which is they're infants. Like the business is an infant.
Our Conroe salon is just had its second birthday. It's a freaking toddler.
And then you got the parents of the infant being like, you know what? I think it's ready. I think this baby's ready for the real world
to drive.
And we should get it a vehicle and it should be paying rent.
What?
It's a brand new thing, so you gotta strap in and get focused and do a better job than anyone else, because everyone else is trying to exit their business.
Everyone else, just like this last one of the last episodes that we filmed, probably by the time this airs 2 episodes ago, I said don't build a half-ass business. Like if you're gonna build a business, build it right. You don't want it falling apart. Because
it's going to be built right and shit's going to fall apart.
Yeah. But like you got to have a good foundation. I mean, like, for example, we just had a hurricane hit here in Texas and we had a freaking tree slam through our warehouse. Okay.
100-foot oak.
Go look at my stories if you want to see what happened. I posted a massive hole in the ceiling right now.
New video coming soon.
Yeah. So that happened. Right. And so, can you imagine if, let's say, there was a weak foundation of our house, and then they prematurely put the studs up, right? And then they like half-ass screwed in the sheetrock, and they half-ass put on the roof and the trusses and everything. Can you imagine how much worse the damage would have been? You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't have been able to withhold what happened. So the trees falling into the right side of the warehouse, did the entire warehouse go down, right? Like the freaking, what was it, like the big bad wolf that blew the house down? Like is that it didn't do that. No, it actually held up that tree for several days and it would have held that tree up probably forever until the tree was removed, right? But the point of the story is that the foundation and the walls and the studs and the sheetrock and the workmanship to build that building was good, right? It was thought about. There was a process. There was inspections along the way. There were, there was a code of ethics to like doing that work and doing it well. And a lot of times I see a lot of people that are just duct taping something together. I'm like, look, I opened a salon. Isn't it great? Like, it's like an ego serving thing.
Yeah.
And you didn't set this fucking thing up for success from the beginning. And then you wonder why people leave and they walk out and they're going somewhere cheaper, or like assistants leave after you've trained them. It's like they can't stay there long term. There's no plan for them long term because you haven't thought about long term, and you ran out of
runway. You didn't build a long enough runway for them.
Yep.
So they're trying to fly, man.
Yeah. So we share these this is wisdom that we're giving you guys right here, because we also, just like most of the new business, not even just salon owners, but new business owners. I definitely think that salon owners are like a little more ballsy. Like they like to create. They're just going to go out there and they're like, oh, I got my pretty Pinterest board and
create my way out of this.
Let's freaking do this thing. I got my Pinterest board and 10 grand, that was me. I didn't even have 10 grand. I think I had like 3. But it's like
some rubles, but rub it together.
Yeah. I just knew, I did girl math. Girl math wasn't even a thing when I started our salon. It wasn't even a thing. Mm-hmm. It was, okay, well, if I do 2 extra colors this week for the rest of my life, I could pay for this thing. Right. And if you're listening to this, you own a salon and you've done that, I know you feel me. And, a lot of businesses started that way, but there wasn't as much resources and education and things available at that time, over a decade ago to have access to. Now things are so much freaking easier. You have so much of an advantage over everybody.
But what people are having not to cut you off, I want to jump in on what she's saying right there, because she's completely dead on. However, the problem is people don't know how to manage themselves. Mm-hmm. That is what's happening out there. People are losing their minds, right? Because they have no leadership. They have no discipline, and yeah, Rachel's right. All the answers, all the secrets, all the
there
things,
are no secrets.
It's all there.
There's no secrets. Everything's available at your fingertips. You just have to reach out and grab it. And not just grabbing it. You have to learn it. You have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn some shit that you don't know. It's okay. Turn that feeling of uncomfortability or stress or anxiety or insert whatever word there, turn it into excitement and curiosity as to what you're about to learn that could be the thing that changes everything for you.
Curiosity is very powerful. I'm a very curious person, and Rachel is as well. We have our different ways about it, but at the end of the day, we're both curious on how do we solve the thing? Like, how do we create the thing? How do we make a podcast? How do we make it look really good and go live on Instagram? I'm curious,
Yeah.
That's a really good place to be.
Yeah. And if you if you rewind back to the beginning of this, if you're watching live on Instagram and you rewind once we post this, you'll see that like there were some technical difficulties in the beginning, right? Like we were like, oh crap, we got to turn the slide off, or this sound isn't working over here for her, but yet it's working for us. There's always going to be problems, but your ability to navigate them and just, okay, cool, check, got that figured out. Now, next, that's how you move along in life and business. It's not, there's not some like secret sauce or workbook or whatever that's gonna, no one, by the way, is gonna build your freaking business for you. I will tell you that firsthand. We have spent so much money on all kinds of things, coaches, this, that, people promise you the moon and the stars. They are not going to build your business for you. We aren't going to build your business for you, but we'll fucking show you how to build the business, right? And you implement, you make it happen, and we will guide you and mentor you and cheer you on and hand you a tissue sometimes and do whatever it takes along the way. But
yeah, kick in the pants.
I give a lot of kick in the pants lately, actually. I love y'all, but
we're like Sherpas. When you go climb Everest, there's a Sherpa there that's born and raised, and they go up the mountain. They can't climb it for you, but they go with you.
Yeah. Sometimes it gives you more confidence that you may not have on your own. That and nobody wants to do business or life alone. I mean, think about it. We were created to have a partner. We need each other. Right? None of us would exist if we didn't have a freaking mother, or a dad. You can't do it by yourself. So, so it's the same thing in business and in life. Like, you are not meant to do business or life alone. And, you know, it's important that you have a person, whether it's your spouse or it's your manager or it's a lead stylist or maybe a fellow business owner, or maybe a mentor like us, you know, to be able to connect with and be able to just kind of point you in the right direction, wipe those lenses if they're cloudy, you know, you can't see, or be like, hey, oh my God, yeah, I got this resource. Here you go. This will solve everything. You know, like, there's so many easy fixes that exist that you just don't maybe know about. And it's just because it's uncharted territory.
And then going back to talking to a lot of people is you can, when it comes down to stepping out and building your business and building more opportunity for your team in your town, there's going to be a moment where you have to make a decision to move on something, you know, not with us, whatever, but something else, whatever you're doing. You're gonna, like, when you sign the lease, you had to make the move to sign the lease to get into the building. There was a thing, I was like, you know, and a lot of the people I talk to, they get to the crossroads, they get to the fork in the road. And like Rachel said, you got to reach out and grab it. A lot of times I will take them to the fork in the road and I'll stand there with them and they got to choose. And like, if you choose here, very different life, blue pill, red pill kind of thing situation. Like, do you really want to build $1 million salon? Like, if you want to, and you've been praying about it, here we are. Like, here we are. I'm standing with you on the edge of this thing, but I can't. Most people don't even walk to the edge or even know where the edge is to even have this conversation. But a lot of people do walk to that edge and then they do nothing. They back off. You know, there is so much of that out there. People get there and they feel good. Rachel says a thing. They feel good about, they get a dopamine response because they do all this work and they get to the edge and like, wow, I can see what I can do. And they're like, I'm going to go do the same thing I've been doing that hasn't been working the whole time.
It's any of you ladies listening to this, it's kind of like when you have your Pinterest board and you pin a bunch of like recipes or workouts, and you got these cute little sets that you pinch, you know, you put on your Pinterest board, and you get done with your little Pinterest session. You're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking fit. You didn't work out. You didn't even get off the couch. You didn't even cook. You didn't go to the grocery store. You didn't cook the meal, you know, but it's this alternate reality that is unfortunately our reality in this life. And as where we are today is there's so much VR, virtual reality going on. And you subconsciously or consciously are not quite in tune. I struggle with this as well, you know. I did not want our kids watching this movie the other day. Movie, I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this at all. Spiritually, I don't like it.
Rachel inside is, she's like 85 years old. Like, I
am
very old soul, old school.
Yeah. So I forget what the movie was called, but they had these
Ready Player One.
Yeah. So they were playing this or watch
that movie tonight. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Don't watch it.
Pray after you watch it. Rachel doesn't watch movies.
I don't.
Watch the movie.
I do watch some. I watched If, the Imaginary Friend movie. That was cool. I
cried.
I did too.
Did you?
I did.
I thought you were just making fun of me.
No, I didn't want you to know I was crying. So anyway, we watched this. I honestly, I wasn't even watching it. I'm cleaning the kitchen and everything. This was on Sunday. I was cleaning, and this is what I do. And so they're just laying on the couch doing nothing, watching this movie. And so this movie, the guy is like living in this, what was it, like a nasty, like dirty trailer. And he had these goggles on, and he's in this VR world, right? And it's great. And everyone's, you know, there's all this stuff. And I'm just like, isn't that so freaking similar to how life is Ready now? Player One. Yeah. Yes. Isn't that so similar to how life and business is sometimes? Mm-hmm. You know, like you can go to an event, you could go to a hair show, you could go to a local women's event, and like everyone's got their freaking perfect, everything's great, life's great, my business is thriving. And is that actually true? You know what I mean? Like just being, and the more that you say it, all it does is bury the fact that it actually isn't that way. And it really just allows you to prolong the decision or decisions that you need to make to change your life, to change your business, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So like Drew was saying, when we get on calls sometimes with people, you know, and if they can walk to the cliff essentially of like,
Show
okay,
up.
this is where, well, sometimes people don't even show up. So if you've no showed us, thanks a lot. Your future self.
Pissed.
Yeah, your future self was like disappointed in you. But anyway, it's like it's just something that that is just so relatable to that movie, Ready Player One, you know.
Yeah.
That
could happen.
Quite in tune. Well, that's exactly where the world's going. They're not quite in tune with what's actually happening in reality, you know. So we try to keep it real with you guys. I don't even know which camera to look at. Good God.
Really this one.
Okay. So we try to keep it real with you guys all the time because we have to keep it real for ourselves. And you know, because we have to be the more responsibility, the more people, the more employees, the more businesses, the more decisions you have to make. You have to be in reality, because if you are not, you are going to make some very careless, very, very big decisions that have a lot of negative impact. And you know, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure. The more your business grows, the more people you got, you know, to talk to, to answer to you. I mean, it can be a lot, you know, and you gotta handle it with care. You can't be careless. You know, you can't be, I always tell people, they're like, oh, you know, is Babes in Business Live or Salon Con like just a big party? And I'm like, no, this is not, you know, the behind the chair show where everyone gets shit faced at the pool and twerks on an educator and ruins their career. This is not that. Like, this is an actual event where you're going to learn stuff. You're going to know how to implement. You're going to make amazing relationships that you can lean on when things get hard. So anyways, I think your phone died. Did it die?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So, you know, we'll leave you guys with that, but, you know, wherever you're at in business and life, just be all in, you know what I mean? And try to be as in tune with reality as you possibly can.